Well, I was expecting a lot bigger crowd. I sold more tickets than I was expected. Well, I'm going to do a little bit of breakdown first. FPS stands for First Person Shooter. It also has other meanings in the video world, but I'm going First Person Shooter because I'm going to say it a lot because my topic's about First Person Shooters. My name is Nathan, by the way, and good morning. I want to give you information about first-person shooters. We're going to start off today by talking about what a first-person shooter is, why they are thriving in the video game industry, and what keeps players interested in them. I chose this topic after watching the documentary Game Over. To me, I will not lie to you guys, I'm a huge nerd. I love video games. I don't care what people think about it. It's just awesome. I love the action of first-person shooters. And all the information I'm going to tell you has been from credible sources, not just from me playing games, but from websites such as Techopedia, Microsoft, and PopScience.com. All these are credible sites that are funded by universities and also, obviously, Microsoft, a major company. As I said before, let's talk about what a first-person shooter is. It is a video game genre that involves action and violence. In most cases, you are the protagonist, and secondly, what you talk about a first-person shooter, which I hope most of you know what first-person is from reading, but when you play a first-person game, all you see is the hands or what your character is wielding. It could be a sword, it could be a gun, it could be whatever it may be. And the second thing about first-person shooter is that you control all the movements and all the actions of the player. You can go forward, backward, sideways, in any direction you want. There's no limitations to the game unless the game developers make limitations. You can lay down, you can crouch, you can jump, you can dive, you can do whatever you want. It all depends on how the game is played and what it's about. This leads me into my second topic, is why the gaming industry is thriving. It's thriving because of the actions you're allowed to do. It gives you the ability to do things that you can't do in real life. You can't run around and shoot people. You can't run around and do violence or jump off buildings or go through burning fire and not get injured. In the game, if you die, you get another life. You get a second chance, which to most people, that's awesome. To some, they're like, I don't care about that. I want to go watch sports or I want to go play sports. Don't get me wrong. Sports are fun. But if you get hit with a baseball in the face, you're not playing again, probably for a while. Well, my next reason about why they're thriving, besides the mindless violence, is the objectives. These games, the objective games within a first-person shooter can, okay. The objective-based mini-games within a first-person shooter keeps the player's attention. There is team deathmatch, search and destroy, capture the flag, and free-for-all. You can play all these games in real life. They do. Capture the flag. Obviously, the objective is grab the flag and run. Except for in the video game, you're not physically running, which makes a lot of people who can't run, which, using my experience, I play a lot of Xbox games. I met a younger guy. He was about, sounds weird, but he's 16, he's in high school, but he has not many friends. He told me. I asked him why. He's like, well, I can't really do much. I'm not really popular. And I asked him why. He wouldn't really break down to it, but we just played the same games for a long time, over months. And I found out that he cannot walk without crutches, and people pick on him at school. And he's really cool. He is annoying, but I deal with it because, and then I just deal with it because he's awesome. And then I talked to him about it, like, why do you play first-person shooter, especially since our topic, we had to make a speech. He was telling me that I play because I can't run. I can't walk, which really kind of made me a little bit sad. I was sitting there, I really wish I didn't ask him this question, but he went into detail. Like, he's thought about this. He can jump. He can climb. He can do all these things that people can do around him, but he can't, which I'm like, that's amazing. It's awesome that video games give you that ability. Which that was my experience, which really made me want to keep researching, but of course it's hard to communicate with someone just over the internet because I don't know where he's from. Then let's talk about why Why? Okay. Well, that's one of the reasons why first-person shooters thrive, is because you have the ability to do whatever you want, and also because friends talk to friends. Like, if I'm playing a video game and you walk by me seeing me play, and you're going to ask questions, and I'll be like, you should try it or get it, which can also lead to just that last-minute purchase at the store. You see the game, I'm going to buy it. Just most cases, if it's cheap. FPS creators don't just worry about the violence in the game. It's not all about violence. They have to have a science behind it. There has to be an experience to make people want to keep playing these games. Because obviously there's not just first-person shooters out there. You have sports games, you have strategy games, and then you have memory games. First-person shooters are one of the top ones, just because of the violence, of course. But it's what they bring to the table when you play. When you play the game, the controller, the game, the video, and the audio all have an effect. Let's start with the controller. The controller has vibrations, which can stimulate your hands because you have pulse. You can feel your pulse on your wrist, which the vibration from the controller can be so strong it can actually influence your pulse to get your heart racing, the intensity. When you're in a gunfight, your controller will actually vibrate when you shoot, when you're being shot at, or if you're just, it's a slow-paced game, or depending on the game type. The vibration can really influence you on how it's going. Next, I'm going to talk about this audio. How they make the audio I thought was really impressive. They don't just make it out of thin air. They actually go to military ranges, such as the Marine Corps shooting range in San Diego. They will go to Army bases, and they will record the audio from the firearms that are being fired. Some of which are fake, some of the guns are fake, but the audio is real. They just use different guns. I thought that was really cool, but kids that play first-person shooters or any video game in general, your hand-eye coordination will increase inside the gaming and outside the gaming. So they can actually increase performance in the real world by just playing video games. That's pretty awesome, I think. There's the one thing is that the closer they can close the gap between the controllee and the character can lead to increasing side effects, which can actually result in rage, panic, and crazy facial expressions. I can go by that because the University of Texas put a video of a guy who was playing for about an hour, and then he died, and his face expression went from really happy to very sad. And which, from my own experience, when you're playing the game, I bet most of you have met someone or have watched someone play video games, and you or may have heard of a rage quitter. Maybe not. A rage quitter is someone when you fail at the game, and usually the player dies, and they become frustrated, and they shut off the video game console. It could be a computer, an Xbox, a PlayStation, whatever it is. In most cases, they leave swearing and cursing into the microphone at other players. Happens a lot. Letting this come to an end, now that you know what a first-person shooter is, now you know what a first person is, and also why to play first-person shooters, and also some of the science behind first-person shooters, why to keep them playing. So I hope to keep you informed about all I talked to you about the first-person shooter. I hope you guys aren't really, I know I'm the last one to go. I kind of wrote that in because I know most of you, when the last person's up, you all want to just leave right after your thoughts on what's for breakfast, what's for that. I hope I left you a little bit cool insight, kept you guys hooked for most of it, and for my next speech, I hope to persuade you guys on why to choose a particular video game such as Call of Duty. I'll show you with some awesome videos that I've made, which I don't know, You guys might be like, wow, he is really nerdy. If you think this is nerdy, wait till the next one.